Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing well and are enjoying during this phase of learning. You will soon get over this phase of life and will start your dream branch in your dream medical college. So, let's talk about making your own 20th notebook in this tutorial. The first important step while making your own 20th notebook is to remember that you need to include all the volatile and the most repeated questions. It's no brainer that NEET PG is a competitive exam and they can't overtly divert from their pattern of question making. So, hence, there is a tendency to have many repeated previous year questions. Target those questions which are frequently repeated and are very volatile. For example, say the classification systems in surgery, the scoring systems in surgery, or the STD kits with the treatment in dermatology. Second important step to remember while making your 20th notebook is to make sure your vulnerable topics gets into your 20th notebook list. What might be difficult for you might not be difficult for everyone else. For example, I had a certain mastery over statistics while my friend struggled at it. However, I struggled in biochemical pathways while my friend did very well in it. So, my 20th notebook had that extra section with tricks for remembering biochemical pathways, while my friend added a huge section for statistics. The third step while making your 20th notebook is to remember to make it visually appealing. This might seem the least important step, but do remember that this is definitely the most important step while making your 20th notebook. A dull, non visually appealing 20th notebook would never make into your photographic memory. So, you all might be wondering, how do I make it more visually appealing while I am making a handwritten notes? Yes, you can't add pictures to your own 20th notebook which is handwritten. That will always remain a flaw with personalized 20th notebook which is handwritten. However, you can fortify your notes by adding lots and lots of flowcharts and also lots of tabular columns that summarize the whole chapter into a single page. After completing the steps 1, 2, and 3, you would be wondering what else can I add to my 20th notebook to make it my strength. Okay, you have to further grade your 20th notebook. After considering the points 1, 2, and 3, you would have ended with at least say 400 to 500 pages of your 20th notebook. So, is it feasible to revise everything of these 500 pages within the last 10 to 12 days at least two times? Definitely, that's a no. So, we have to further grade it. How do you grade it? You have to give higher number of stars to a topic which is more frequently repeated. For example, lysosomal storage disorder in my list gets a 5-star rating. However, energetics of each enzyme pathway, which is rarely asked, gets 1 star in my list. So, by adding stars against a topic's heading would make you grade it further and narrow it for further revisions. The fifth step, which might sound odd but is one of the most important point, is to get high while you are learning. So how do you do it? Fix a goal for the number of revision cycle you are targeting for a particular subject. Say for example, you are targeting 4 revision cycles for biochemistry. How do you go ahead with it? So at the end of the biochemistry subject topic, you need to add a box which you tick every time after you complete a revision cycle. This will automatically stimulate your brain to release dopamine at the end of the revision cycle. And trust me, you will feel a lot better after you complete that revision cycle. Also, do not forget to take extra bit of leisure time. Also, reward yourself with your favorite food at the end of that revision cycle. This is how you get going in the long run. After a brief tutorial on how to make your own 20th notebook, we will discuss why is it important to have your own 20th notebook. Well, for beginners, there are platforms that provide you with notes so bulky that you can barely revise 2 to 3 subjects in the last week of your exam. Ever wondered why people using the same sources get different ranks? Yes, because of their intellectual ability to an extent. But what are the other important things that you need to remember? One is reinforcement, and two is getting ahead of yourself. Talking about reinforcement, higher the number of revisions, higher is the chance of you hitting that bull's eye. And having your 20th notebook just makes it a lot more easier to substantially increase the number of revision. Remember, revising and retaining the stuff you revise has a logarithmic scale relationship. That one extra revision changes your rank significantly. Retaining stuff is comparable definitely to a logarithmic scale. For example, consider yourself that you have revised 3 times for a particular subject or a set of subjects. You would have a retention capacity of say 66%, for example. That extra revision of the fourth time would significantly increase it to 95%. And this is definitely true when it comes to competitive exams. And important thing is getting ahead of yourself. How does this work? By assessing the patterns of previous year questions and by predicting the bounces through your gut feeling. You save that extra crucial seconds that will help you remain calm, and also you would invest those time extra seconds in a question that you never predicted or never heard before. While this is where your personalized 20th notebook comes into rescue. You always need to have a certain prediction of what questions can come in your exam, and that personalized stuff gets into your 20th notebook. Trust me, the amount of seconds that you save in your exam is unparalleled. But the question is, what for those people who could not make your own 20th notebook? I understand most of you go to a offline coaching batch where you barely get 4 months before your exam to revise your written notes during that offline session. Or there are interns who hardly get more than 3 to 4 months for the exam preparation. So, is it feasible to make your own 20th notebook? Definitely not. In that sense, you need to understand that we have prepared a 20th notebook during my preparation time and have fine tuned it post examination, edition by edition, making it more feasible for each of you to understand everything while covering the most important topics within 700 pages. This has been prepared by taking the best out of all sources so that you never get that FOMO associated while reading. Also, we will have a tour on our 20th notebook in an upcoming video in 2 to 3 days where you will be seeing what exactly our 20th notebook offers to you. Otherwise, always remember your own 20th notebook is superior to anyone else's 20th notebook unless you don't have enough time to make your 20th notebook. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the tour on my 20th notebook.